Go ahead.
They are utterly consumed with terrorists. Right, they're utterly consumed with terrorists, man, because it's gonna be bad times in the streets of America, man.
That's right.
Race war. Go ahead.
Who's in that position right now? The 12 tribes are.
Yeah.
I just glimpsed at an article. Disabled Jake was reading a book in his car and got killed. Then everybody seen the joint on Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. Yeah. So what the brother's going into is beautifully, man. It's the Lord is about just balance, man.
Yeah.
So everything that's happening to these people, man, is gonna happen to the so-called white man, man.
That's right.
You better believe it.
That's right.
And if you a Negro, Latino, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and you don't believe that Esau deserved death or slavery, man, you going off, man.
That's right, Doc. You know what? Throw a hand joint in hand, man. You're not gonna go unpunished, man. You know? That's right. That's right. Verse 19. How are they brought into destruction as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors, as a dream when one awaketh. So, O Yahweh, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my veins, my reins, like it. So foolish was I and ignorant. I was at a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by the right hand. Right now, it's holding me. He's holding us by the right hand, which is Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
And that's who we solely rely on, man.
That's right.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
All right? Because he's our only way and our only hope out of here, man. We can't sit here and we can't go toe-to-toe with Esau. You know? Like the brother went into beautifully earlier, man. If you need a gun, who do you gotta go to? You have to go to Esau. And if you do get a gun, you gotta get some bullets. Who do you gotta get the bullets from? You gotta get it from Esau. Yeah, training on how to use the guns. You're like, well, shoot, I'm not gonna get a gun. I'm just gonna get a knife. Who do you gotta get the knife from? Esau.
You don't have to sell it to you if you don't want to.
Exactly,
Right,
man.
It says in the scriptures, the borrower shall be subject to the lender.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrasing, and we're the borrowers at this time, like the brothers are mentioning. We gotta go to these niggas for everything. We gotta go to our enemies for want of all things, like it reads in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. You know?
That's right, brother.
That was it on that one.
Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom.
Concerning you so-called white people. All right?
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle.
Right.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
We have made these small amongst the heathen, man, because you so-called white people, man, you guys are the most inferior nation on the planet Earth, man. You guys might be in power right now, man, but ultimately, man, y'all are the basest of men. Y'all below the Hamites, man. That's pretty bad. You know?
Below, man, y'all hate it, man. The other heathen nations hate y'all, man.
That's right.
Y'all going to oppress them, take their heritage, take their land, take their resources, man. So the Most High has made you small and despised as well. Let alone you also are the only race of devils that don't have any type of melanin. Everyone else has some sort of melanin, man. So you small in multiple cases.
That's right.
Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. All right? Let's talk about you so-called white people, you Edomites, all right? Because you so-called white people dwelled in the Caucasus Mountains, man. All right? And if you pan the camera around, brother, to these buildings, man, these are you guys' mountains today. These different buildings, these high rises, these lofts that you guys live in that are so luxurious, you know? That's you so-called white people, man. You know?
Right. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right, and he says in his heart, who shall bring me down into the ground? And that's how he thinks.
That's right.
Like the brother brought out beautifully in what was it, Jeremiah? You know? He thinks that he is God. He thinks he is the Most High. That's why he wants to put an RFID microchip in each and every soul, man.
That's right, brother.
That's exactly the reason why he wants to do that, man. So that he can have 24/7 surveillance on each individual on the planet Earth, man. So he can have the eye of God.
That's right, brother.
You know? That's his whole plan. And if you get that microchip, man, you're gonna be destroyed according to Revelations, the 13th chapter, man, and the 14th chapter.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh.
Right. So though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, you know, so that's one thing. The country's national bird is the eagle. It's a symbol of America because the eagle, what does it do? It flies higher than any other bird.
That's right.
You know, so it can oversee where the prey is and come down and swoop it up. You know, and the eagle was a symbol of it was a symbol of Egypt, Rome, Greece. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know that, man, everything is reincarnated. Okay.
Mind if I bring up a point too? You got certain scenarios in the scriptures where it talks about the fowls being referred to as the other nations. Like even when you go to Ezekiel, the 17th chapter. The reason why I'm saying that, because out of all the nations, you have the eagle that does fly higher than all the other birds, all the other fowls, which is Esau right now. You know, of course, the terrible of the nation are going to come against it. But right now, why this eagle, this devil's and ruler shit, you know, right now is whatever he says goes. You know, I just want to bring that example.
Right. Did you read that verse
point
again?
you brought out.
Water, brother.
Obadiah verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Though thou set thy nest among the stars, man. You got Esau. You got your space stations in space.
Yeah.
You know, you got your international space station, your satellites, your different space shuttles, your Hubble telescopes. And the reason why you ain't up there just taking pictures of the planets and just trying to figure out, oh, that's a beautiful star. You know, no. What you doing out there, man? You really trying to take pictures of them chariots, man, figuring out what y'all need to do whenever they come back. You know? Go ahead.
That's right.
I also like to say this. Another thing that they're trying to do is formulate some sort of defense against the chariots, to try to form shields and things like that,
right.
to understand, well, because they know it's coming.
That's right.
What can we do when they come? How can we attack? They're trying to formulate a plan against the chariots as well. So like,
Right, and that's why Ronald Reagan made the Star Wars program.
Yeah.
You know, because he knew, man, Ronald Reagan knew. He said if there were going to be pretty much, in other words, if there was going to be extraterrestrial beings that came from outer space, we would need to have a system whereas we can defend ourselves. And if anybody's seen Independence Day 2, y'all seen that? It shows you perfectly in that movie what they're trying to do.
that's right.
You know, they had different kind of in the movie they had different kind of like space stations and different weapon mechanisms on the moon.
Yeah.
Whereas when the big chariot came, they already had their guns already, their laser beams and everything already pre-pointed. You know what I'm saying? They had a defense mechanism around the whole world. Whereas if anything ever happened, they could try to defend themselves. And that's the reason why they up there in space, man. That's the reason why do you think they're trying to go out to Mars? You know? Because ultimately they know that this place is going to be destroyed.
That's right, brother.
And they need another habitat. You know, they want to try to move out to different planets, man. You know, Esau is going crazy, man. He's insane.
At the snow too. They're also, the reason they're also trying to do that, man, is they're trying to offset the prophecies, man.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 31 tells you, the Most High says, if you can search out the heavens or the waters of the deep, then Israel will cease to exist, man.
Yeah.
So that's why they try to go down deep on the ground and go out live, say they went to the moon, but you know that's BS. You know, but they're trying to offset the prophecy, man, because they really want their birthright back, man.
Yeah, right.
They're trying to do away with the people on this side, man, because they know that we got it and the Heavenly Father's dealing with these people, man.
That's right.
And if I can add a note to his note, during those same times they started to attack, especially the so-called black man, putting crack in the neighborhoods and all that kind of stuff. So they understand it. They also understand that it's a spiritual aspect of it too, because they know that these people on this sign are the Lord's people. So as they trying to cut off the chariots, they want to cut off these people as well. They want to make these people not exist no more. They want to try to get them to go off and go against the law, statutes, and commandments, smoking crack, killing their own kids with abortion and all that stuff. It's a carnal war and also a spiritual war.
His note. Hey, that's perfect because, you know, according to prophecy in Revelation chapter 11, 350 years, that prophecy around the mid 60s. Hey, who did the Lord put the Spirit on? Abba Bivens on
I was about to bring that up.
who the 12 tribes were. That was a resurgence of Yasharala getting into that spirit. Then you had the brown berets from the Latin tribes and the Native Americans. Gad started waking up. Oh, lo and behold, what starts taking over? Crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Stern drug laws. Feminism. Breaking up the so-called black family. Uplifting the woman. So all that just coincides beautifully what this brother's breaking down beautifully, man. And the other side notes other brothers been making, man. It's a spiritual thing. You got a resurgence of Yasharala, and now you got now you start making things austere, things that were never before, man. The so-called black man was in the home with his kids, man. Jake wasn't out here acting a fool like that, man. Esau is creating these monsters, man, these niggas, man.
And even also when you really think about it as well, man, like as soon as America tried to go into the space race, you know, which was like around the 1970s, the 60s. You know, it says, can you read that verse one more time for me?
Obadiah, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Thence will I bring thee down. So when he went into space around the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, that's the same time as the brother brought out who came on the scene.
Father Bivens.
Abba Bivens, man.
Right.
Which, if you can receive it, was a very, very important man.
That's right, bro.
You know, and he's the one that set the forefront to wake up the nation of Israel. Right. And that's the same time. And around that time, that's when Esau started going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just started going out all mad as lying. And I mean, he's always been a liar.
Cool.
You know, COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? COINTELPRO. That's when all that stuff started happening.
That's right, brother.
You know, right around when the Black Panthers were starting to come into power.
That's right.
You know, Martin Luther King, when they were having all them different kind of intelligence agencies coming up in them, like, look, you know, we got video of you, you know, we got video of you with some other woman. And if you don't say this in your speech, if you don't back out of your speech, then we're gonna release this video. You know? The devil being the devil.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's beautiful how it all keeps happening, because when you think about when they was putting crack in our neighborhoods, they was killing us, a lot of stuff was happening to Jake. That was the kingdom of heaven suffering great violence, as the scriptures talk about. And who came on the scene around that time? John the Baptist. And if you can receive it, who we talking about, hey, put two and two together. But I got a precept I'm gonna bring out really quick, just going into that. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violence taketh it by force. That's what was happening back then in Jerusalem when the ancient Romans were in power. You know what I'm saying? And if you can actually equate it to the times right now, it's still going on. They're taking it by force. They in your neighborhoods. They killing us daily. You know, putting us in jail. Even when you go back to the 60s and 70s, a lot of stuff was going down. That's why you had the Black Panther movements going on, all the other stuff. When you go back to around Yahweh's time, you had a Sakari, you had Zealots, you had all them people doing the same thing, man. It's just history repeating itself at the end of the day. That's right.
Hey, and if I could make a quick point, the kingdom of heaven, when it's talking about in that scripture, it's talking about these people right here. Because it don't matter whatever geographical location we are on the map, wherever we are, we represent the kingdom of the Most High, because we're the Most High's people.
That's right.
Like when it talks about Jerusalem in the Bible, sometimes it's talking about the physical place, Jerusalem, but it's always a people before it's a place. When it's talking about Jerusalem or the kingdom of heaven, it's talking about the Israelites, you know?
Right. You got something you have to say? Okay, you can go to continue.
It's back in Obadiah, verse 5. If thieves come to thee, and robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Would they not have stolen till they have enough, man? Because Esau, man, just gonna keep stealing and stealing and stealing.
That's right.
You know? It's not. It's to a point whereas it's like, well, you know, damn, bro. Like, what else can you steal, bro? You know, you already got the world in its fatness and its fullness. He trying to get the universe, man. He wants to rule. He wants to guardian of the galaxies, man. That's what he wants to be like, man. He wants to be the guardian of the galaxy. He wants to guard all the different galaxies, man. You know, but it's not, the Most High ain't gonna let that happen.
That's why the scripture say his desire enlarges as hell, man. Because he's not going to stop, man. That's why the scripture here in Job 14, he has a bound he can't pass. Because if the Most High didn't put a measurement on his rulership, man, this devil would just keep going until everybody would be destroyed, man. He would destroy himself.
Get that back into the Yup.
Man, and our people, man, we need a savior, man. We need a kingdom, man.
Yeah, right.
Jake know Esau go over there, man, to build up their embassies and get natural resources, but Jake still want to participate in the damn military. Well, I just want to prove, bro. You fighting a fight that ain't got nothing to do with you, man. But that's why the Lord is so selective about who we coming for, man. So no, everybody ain't gonna be saved. Now, ultimately, the whole nation of Israel will be saved, man. But the brothers who's toiling in the scriptures, man, and doing the work on the highways and byways, man, screaming out, crying out loud for our people, those are people the Lord coming for, man. Our people play too damn much, man. You know the so-called white man, the devil, man. He's unveiled that S and everything, man. Like, nigga, I'm here. I'm the devil. I'm the devil. You do as I say or not, have it your way, man. That's how the so-called white man operates, man.
Let's actually go ahead and read Matthew real quick.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time.
Right, and we're coming up to that time period, man. We're coming up to a time period where great tribulation is going to be on the face of the earth.
That's right.
It's going to be on the shores of America very soon, man. You got wars and rumors of wars. You know what I'm saying? You got different things that's happening across the four corners of the earth, man.
That's right, brother.
You got the U.S. that just launched an airstrike against Syria.